I received a lot of messages this week so far sort of saying, oh, isn't it ridiculous that they've managed to raise $1 billion for the rebuilding of the Notre Dame Cathedral? Shouldn't that money be better spent somewhere else? I guess the interesting thing about money is you do get to spend it wherever you want. Could that $1 billion be spent to help more people than building the Notre Dame Cathedral will? Yes, definitely. There's no question about that. Certainly on top of that, I doubt that the Catholic Church is really struggling for cash at any point in time. But, I don't see their balance books, and, it's not up to me to make that decision. Rather than fight about what cause is more important, I think the main problem is the cycle of attention-giving, outrage, and emotive fundraising just in general. This is a problem perpetuated by charities all over the world, it's perpetuated by the news cycle all over the world, and it's perpetuated by the way we engage with information, and that is the major problem. When a charity wants money, they try and give you something to pull on your heartstrings. When the news cycle wants to get you to pay attention to something, they go for the outrageous stuff, they go for fringe issues, they go for fringe opinions, and they pump them up so they get your eyeballs, and it raises money for them, and it raises the profile of fringe people because they're right on the edge. They've got crazy opinions, they do crazy things. Big events raise a lot of money. Big events that happen globally raise a lot of money. Of course, if we just did a better job of providing an infrastructure that supported people when they needed help regardless, we could just continually fund that, and we wouldn't need to raise money that way. In 6 weeks, everyone will have forgotten that $1 billion was raised for Notre Dame. Everyone will have moved on to the next thing, maybe even 2 weeks, who knows? The cycle's so quick. But regularly we see money being raised just for no really good reason, just for emotive reasons or because people have got a lot of attention. Raising money because of attention or because of lowest common denominator engagement with the general population is not an effective way to help people, and it's not an effective way to build understanding of what people need when they require help at all. And that system is the real issue. Instead of trying to decide what issue or what intervention is the most important and deserves the money, at the Just Be Nice project, we decided that actually, hang on, we need to look at what outcomes we actually want. We have to decide on where we'd like to see people get to, on what outcome we'd like to see for people in need or people experiencing disadvantage, what safety nets we'd like in place for people who aren't currently suffering disadvantage but might suffer it in the future. When we talk about judging, say, a hospital as to whether or not it does a good job, as lay people, we don't go in and interview a bunch of different subject matter experts and doctors and nurses and go through the equipment and inspect it and say, this is a good hospital. What we do is we look at whether, if you go to the hospital, do you come out better or do you not come out better? And that's it. That's the main metric as to whether or not a hospital is doing a good job. It should be the same when we're looking at interventions for people who need help. Are you getting all the help that you need? Are you getting it when you need it? Are you getting it for as long as you need it? And until we fund systems that look after people completely, comprehensively for the long term and economically, then we're always going to be wasting our money. There's always going to be wasted money. At the JBM project, we work with people to make sure that they are housed. We work with people to help them understand what economic opportunities there are out there in the employment space and develop diverse communities into employment opportunities and work with people and communities to ensure that their mental health is good so that they can actively pursue relevant and engaging opportunities in this space. We do that because we believe that once you're housed in a stable environment near your workplace, near your support networks, in a place that makes sense to you and is relevant to your needs, once you're employed and an active member of a community, creating economic value and having a point to your day, even if it's not full time, but having something to do and being able to develop skills and take responsibility. And once your mental health is in such a way that you're not being crippled by anxiety or depression or addiction, that you're feeling supported and that you can go out and take these opportunities, that from there you've got a sort of baseline of equality of opportunity from which to build and grow as a human being. Regardless of how you come to need that help, we believe that the help should be there for that. The kind of help that you get is always going to be individual, just like in a hospital. You might go into a hospital and you might need one intervention from one person. It might just be a jab, go home, you'll be fine in a couple of days. Or you might end up with 15 years of treatment from 100 different specialists from all over the hospital. You might move between wards. It doesn't matter though, because the outcome that we're working towards is that you're better. So no one is more or less important. in that process. There is no one intervention that is the most important, because what's important to me might not be the most important thing to you, and what's important to me today might not be the thing that I need in a month's time. I might need something different. So as long as we just keep fighting over which issue is the most important, over which intervention is the best one or the most important, over which group or community or disadvantaged area is the most disadvantaged or requires the most help, rather than building a system based on outcomes for everybody, we're going to be wasting money all the time regardless. Of course, I would like to see $1 billion come to JBN so we can continue with this work, rather than perhaps rebuilding a building for an organization that is more than capable of building it, paying for it themselves. But such is the world that we live in, and I'm not here to try and be outraged and participate in that cycle. We're here to just do a good job, be logical, be correct, and look after people the right way, and hope that people eventually start to get it and make smart decisions with the help that they can give others. In the end, just want everyone to know that you matter, that we care, and of course, just be nice.